Hey kids, Mr. Glenn here. Hope you're well. We are going to be learning about revising a little bit of screen casting today, just to make sure that we have got speed and we are clear with the way that we talk and that we are able to draw onto the screen and talk about something at the same time, which is going to be your favorite computer game. Okay, something very simple, and making sure that the screencasting that we've been doing is very slick. Okay, you're able to explain yourself using a rubric. So what does this rubric look like? So it's going to look a bit like this. So let's have a look at what's on our PowerPoint in front of us. We are going to check out OneNote. We are going to check out our screencasting, and we're going to turn our screencasting into something else by demonstrating what it is that we know, as well as making computer games. Okay, so we have an intro to our computer games. Now that we've learned how to screenshot and edit our screenshots, we are practicing screencasting, because we can't just do that in one lesson and know the ins and outs of it. We're going to learn where this goes so that I can see it and that we have a whole space to work in. And this is in OneNote. Now, OneNote is in your Teams channel at the top. Okay, so at the top of your page, if you are in Windows or Mac, it's going to look a bit like this. And so this is what it looks like on Windows in the app, and you will notice that you've got these tabs across the top, and these are called connectors. Okay, they're called connectors. I'm going to turn my sound down because I can hear myself with my headphones. There we go. Right, so I can see that in 6J, for example, we have some posts. I can go and send a conversation to you beyond the chat. Okay, so the chat is fine, and it's sort of for live lessons, but for questions later on, it's going to go into our posts. The files then I post up there are going to be here, and they will come from my OneDrive, and they'll sit there, and they're ready for use later. The thing that we're interested in, though, today is our class notebook, and this allows me to create posts. It allows me to see what's going on in the classroom, but more importantly, I'm able to see everybody, and everybody has their own personal space in here. Okay, so we have a collaboration space in here, for those of you who've never seen this before, and we've got the collaboration space, and this is where everybody can work. Everybody can see this, and this page, everybody can be in here, they can have their own spot. Okay, and that's for when we want to go whole class. Okay, I can create content in the content library, and you will be able to see the content library. Okay, teacher only is obviously just for me, and then if we just pop into Amelie's, there is a section in everybody's called technology. Okay, so we've got all the stuff that we've been using, all the files and what have you has been put into here. So if I go into week 2 quiz, there is a form that we filled out in the chat. Okay, so we use the chat just for speed. So this is where you come back and work on it. And everybody has this, because I send it out, and it works just like Google Classroom. The difference is that because you've all got pens and pencils and iPads and what have you, you're able to go and write and draw on this, and I can see it happening in real time. So if you start writing and drawing, okay, I can see it writing and drawing at the same time as well. Okay, so in here we've got this, and I send this out to everybody. So I can send this out to 8 classes at once. Okay, so if I go into week 1 content, this is the PowerPoint we've been using, and so you can see all this at the top. Okay, in your connectors. If you're on an iPad, okay, it works slightly differently, but also slightly the same. Okay, so this is my iPad. Okay, this is what it looks like. I'm going to go full screen on this so we can see it all in one go. At the top, you can see that. So if I stop using my mouse and I use my finger on my iPad, you see you've got your files, which is the same as that we had before, and then you have more, and then you have your class notebook. Now, those of you who don't have class notebook or OneNote, it will try to open it here inside this kind of container, and it will try and open it as a web app. You can see that it just pops out here. If I put my mouse in the corner, you can see that I can still go back to Teams. So this is trying to open up the class notebook, and it says class notebook, and it says this is 6J, the 6J notebook. Okay, it's going to see everybody's names here. If you don't have OneNote, OneNote is free. Okay, you can go and install it from the App Store. So if I just pop into the App Store, okay, you can go into OneNote, which is here, and then you can download it from here, and it's free. And then you sign in with your school email address, and then it will automatically give you your OneNote class notebook with all your bits and pieces in there from Teams. Okay, so if I go back out of here again and go back into Teams, once you tap onto your class notebook, if you have OneNote installed on your iPad, it'll just open up straight away because it should know that you're signed in from Teams, and it should know that you're signed in from OneNote as well, and they should talk to each other. Okay, so that's what we're doing today. Okay, we're going to go and make sure that our OneNote is working. I'm just going to go and exit full screen from here and just minimize this so we can see all the bits and pieces that we need to see. Okay, so I'm just going to go and get my page up like this. This is what we're aiming for today. Okay, we've got 3 steps in our screencast, and our screencast goes a little bit like this. Screencasting rubric, can I add a clear voice? Have I got clear beginning, middle, and end when you're talking about your favorite game? Have I given details about the gameplay, my favorite parts? Have I used additional media like text and image or images? Have I pasted my screencast to my OneNote page? Now, this will be interesting because I'm going to give you your new page in your OneNote, and you're going to see that as week 3. So if I just go and bring up my example, okay, so I'm going to go and bring up my favorite game, which is Zelda Breath of the Wild. Okay, and Zelda Breath of the Wild is one of the most beautiful games I've ever played. It is fantastic. It's got a great storyline. It's got great characters. It's not too hard. It's not too difficult, but it means that there are several layers to it, and there's all sorts of money and potions and weapons and bad sort of bosses and small bosses. It's just absolutely brilliant. Okay, so this is Zelda Breath of the Wild, and you have to play it on a Nintendo Switch. Okay, so I'm talking about this right now, and I'm using this, but I would be drawing on the screen using Screencastify. Okay, so when I'm using Screencastify, okay, I've got Screencastify installed here. We used it before. Those of you on an iPad, you are going to have to go into iMovie. Okay, so once you've recorded your screen, you need to go into iMovie and edit it in iMovie. So what will it look like in iMovie? Okay, so let's go and have a quick look. I'm going to go and bring my iPad up again. So I've gone to iMovie, and in iMovie we've got a plus icon, and you will have your screencast in there like you did from last lesson. Okay, and you can talk about your favorite game now, and it'll say go and make a movie, and that's fine. Okay, and you can go and add your video content. Okay, so I'll go and add recently added, and this is my screencasting. Okay, and then you go and add it, and it's done. Okay, so I'll go and add this and go and create movie. Okay, and there we are. Okay, so you can go and this is my screencast already, and then you can go and edit this by adding text and titles, and you can split it, you can change the sound, you can say it's made by, etc, 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 and then you can go and put this into Google Drive like you did before, and then use that link like the Screencastify people are using. Okay, so once that video is done, it'll re-save it into your camera roll, and then you can put it into Google Drive, and then you can share it wherever you need to share it. Okay, So what will it look like when you paste these links into OneNote? So let's take a look over on OneNote. If you're working in Teams, Teams will keep the OneNote open on your iPad. It'll switch you out into OneNote, and there will be a page in here. So I'm in Amelie's page, okay, and you can see just to the side of me, my screen is a little bit bigger, my video screen, so you can see me. But this will be for you to go and paste in and type in what's the name of your screencast, which is mine's called my favorite game, Zelda Breath of the Wild. I put the link in because I'm on Google Drive, and that's what I'm using. Okay, so I'm using Screencastify. If I'm on an iPad, I will go and paste that into here, and it means that I can go and give myself a score, a real score. So I can score myself from the numbers here in this rubric. Okay, so I'm giving myself an honest score here, and I say, can I add a clear voice? I give myself a 4. Can I add in details here? I've given myself 5 out of 5 here because I've added a lot of detail about why the game is my favorite game. And then in here, I'm going to give myself a 2. So then I've got a 5, a 4, and a 2. Okay, and I give myself a total score of 11. Okay, so that's what we're going to be doing today. The last thing is inside this page is also going to be the link for your arcade and make code arcade quests. So what does your quest actually look like? It's going to look like this. So let's just go over to my browser. I'm going to go to arcade.makecode.com, and I've got a skill map here. Okay, and these skill maps are getting more and more complex as we go along. And I'm loving this because if you've never used MakeCode before, somebody said, I don't like block-based coding. And that's fine, you don't have to. You can use syntax in here or written code. You can change it and it will change automatically from block to text. Okay, so you can go into the beginner skill map, and the beginner skill map is going to show you where to go, what to do, and how MakeCode actually works inside these little games. Okay, and that's for us to explore today. All right, so year 6, that's CSL week 3. We're going to be live. You can always add messages in the chat, but this is going to be our lesson today. We're there for your support as always. Good luck.